Alright, we're back home here, and unfortunately no elk today. I thought I'd share what I thought was very good things to bring today. The first thing was definitely a good rain jacket, big deal, that really saved me. This rain pants that goes over my boots. I had that lovely knife, absolutely no use for it today, but just feels great to have it. What I did not use today are those poles, which got in the way of the rain protection, which was a lifesaver. This backpack comes with this rain protection, so it covers nicely. That's just a must. The only issue is when you have pole here, you can't really tuck it too well, so it did get wet on the side. No use for it today, but if we had got an elk and therefore much more load on our backs, probably we would have come in handy. Even though I did not get to use the shotgun today, which is a good thing because it was solely for self-protection. So it's a Remington 870. Only last night got to install a kit over here. Thankfully my friend here had the tools to be able to make a thread into the metal in here, and I had to drill to put this one here. He also gave me this strap to be able to have it around my shoulder, which made a world of difference. This backpack has your pouch here, drops out, to put the stock here of the shotgun or the rifle you're carrying so that you can have it on the side. Just like on the other side with the poles, it would have gotten in the way of the rain fly, which would have made the backpack even more prone to take some water. So I'm glad I had that option. To having the shotgun in my hands or around the neck was a much more effective way to actually use it for self-defense if it came to it. The thing I wish I had was a pair of earplugs around my neck, because if it comes to using it, you might not have much time to unscrew this thing, put those little things into your ears and prevent potential irreversible ear damage using a lovely 12 gauge at short distance. Here in this pocket I had the sunglasses, the primary flashlight, so very good to have that, super easy to access. On the other side, did not really use here today. My friend here gave me some mouth reeds. That reeds, right?
Mouth reeds, yeah.
I don't know if I can make a sound. Oh!
That's amazing! That's amazing!
Wow, that's the closest I got so far.
Tight. Like
gotta
tight,
really find
the gap between your tongue, and
it really tickles the tongue. It's weird.
Yeah, it does tickle the tongue. So now figure out a way. So push it higher to the roof and get the tongue closer, and just let.
That was close. That was the best one so far.
That's the best you've done. And so that's why I gave you this one. This one's like a little easier because it's a bit smaller.
Nice.
Yeah. This one's from Primos, and then this one's from Rocky Mountains. Yeah, Primos makes, like, he's famous for those duck calls and turkey calls.
So what wears out?
Like that.
Everything?
Just the latex.
The latex
it's a small
around there?
No, this is like, I don't know, some kind of canvasy type stuff, right, with plastic on it, and then this is a latex, and I think that this is maybe got 2 layers of latex, and then there's a little, they call these domes or whatever.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just having a bit of space because you're playing the air across the rubber, right?
Interesting. So yeah, I didn't get to use those in the field today. Just gave me those last night. Yeah, you don't want to scare the elk away by doing obvious non-elk sounds. So in this pocket there I have flagging to mark our trail if we were to do more deep dive into the woods, but my friend had his InReach Garmin GPS. I also had my phone with the OnX app. In there I have field sharpener, also have my best skinning knife so far. It's a German Mercator that has a really good steel that holds a good edge. I have very limited experience in skinning. I've only done possums in New Zealand. What was super handy is to have this thing here. and I was able to put both my bear spray and my water bottle. This thing also has room for a water bladder, but I did not bring mine this time. At the very top here I had my ammo, which is not the great place because it's heavy, and so I moved it lower into the bag later on to have that weight distributed lower simply. So this ended up being pretty empty with only cables, a spare flashlight, a thing here that can be a multi-use tourniquet, so it's a large Velcro band that has stretch to it. I had also polysporin, I had spare earplugs, zip ties, microfiber cloth to clean optics, a lighter, some water purification tablets. Even though here we have the most pure water in the world, so not too worried about this. I had all my food in only one pocket here. Meals here, those I purchased at Canadian Tire, and it's the first time ever that I tried those freeze-dried things, and we were able to just add boiling water to it, and those were much bigger than expected. Eventually in the future I could see that being a big dinner and only snacking through the day and for lunch, because having that midday was a little too much for both of us actually. Here I had a call that he passed me here just in case. I had my binoculars here. By the way, this compartment here on this hunting bag is for the meat. It's separated from the main compartment here and from those two outside pockets. It's properly lined here with holes at the bottom, both for air and, you know, for blood and drippy gooiness. So if we had taken something down, this will be the place where I would have packed most of the meat. On the front pockets, I had a bunch of Ziploc bags, garbage bags, pegs, big zip ties, live straw, ferro rod, tape, saw, hand warmers, and toe warmers. I use my toe warmers for good reason. Here's also a nice tinder block. It's a big chunk of hard cardboard that was dipped into wax. Super handy to start a fire in shitty conditions. And on the side I had my combo of Gerber knives with a really good knives here, same that can be used for skinning, and a bone saw here. This is more of the kit if we needed to process meat on the field. Here my favorite Gerber multi-tool, the center drive, called like this because of that center drive here, which allows to stay nice and centered. Another flashlight, never have too many I guess, and this guy, which is a UV one. So the UV could be used to spot blood if we were to take down something early in the morning or in the evening and have to find a trail of blood. This is one way to follow blood potentially. So the big thing to change for next time, gloves are super important. So I started the day with these guys. These guys just get soaked. Those are great work gloves potentially, but not when it's raining. They save my butt because those are actually, they did dry much faster, and it was just nice halfway through the day to switch from those soaked, so that made a difference. It was much better most of the time, even when it rained, to actually be with my bare hands. The next big thing was socks. My socks got soaked, and the reason are the boots. So the big thing to change is having the proper boots, and I did have the proper boots. Unfortunately, I've used those nice Irish settlers for flooring and destroyed the front here. So as you can imagine, this is plenty space for the water to get into. I will attempt to fix those and give them a good waterproofing treatment, but those are really great boots. They are very comfortable, they hold ankles very nicely, very good grip, amazing hunting boots. My problem is that they were not waterproof today, so thankfully at lunchtime I was able to warm up my toes, so I changed my socks, also add toe warmers under the fresh socks. In that main pocket here was extra clothing, extra underwear, a baklava, base layer, t-shirt, and also 2 towels. So I was able to use those towels to dry my feet, changed into new socks, put toe warmers. So I put my feet in Ziploc bags and back into my boots. And that was amazing to spend the afternoon with dry and warm feet. So that's a big difference. That's super important, is keep the extremities nice and warmish and dry. I also had extra batteries for my GoPro and a lighter also, because that's a nice waterproof little container. Those little wipes, really handy. The beanie was nice also to get my head a little warmish. I brought some ammo and keys. Finally, at the bottom was all the things you don't want to have to use, but a proper emergency blanket. I had the classic aluminum one, and this one is actually a tarp, also an emergency blanket that is orange on one side, aluminum on the other. I brought a SAM splint just in case we hurt ourselves and we need to keep an arm or an ankle as steady as possible. A first aid kit which had added a couple of elements into it. Also have one of those emergency trauma wound dressing. So that's about it for what I had brought today. That was a relatively short mission. That was very interesting into knowing how to make the next experience much more enjoyable. Drier experience, even in the rain. It's doable. How to stay safe, how to not pack too much. Even though we did not get an elk today, we heard some elk cows. We might have heard some bobcats or cougar at the very beginning. We might have seen a baby deer. Very nice experience overall. Amazing landscapes, a very good zone. And so it's really great to be out there and try it out. It's too bad the elk were not very chatty today and they did not respond, but that's definitely part of it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully next time we'll get something a little more interesting with a little more action. All right, take care, stay safe.